Welcome, folks, to episode 142, Healthy Habit Podcast. Look who's back checking in with us, representing Emerald Labs, the Additive-Free company. Stacy Faulkner is back with us here on the podcast, folks. Last episode was 123 and 125 released here at the beginning of June. So Stacy's worked in the natural health industry since 2000. As a national educator for Emerald Labs, Stacy provides insight and understanding to those seeking information regarding better health through proper supplementation and self-care. And we're going to be highlighting summer essentials here today, from multivitamins and the fact that all of them are iron-free except for prenatals. We'll kind of branch off from there and look at standalone versions of what's in the multis, from B-complex to PureWay-C and Glutathione. You tuned into a good one here, folks, for episode 142. Welcome, Stacy.
So happy to be here as usual. I kind of missed you. I feel like we've been more than 4 weeks apart. I did miss this whole thing.
Yep, we've been talking with Stacy even back from the radio days, 3+ years now, over maybe 4 years, Stacy. So thanks again for being here, being consistent all these years with us. And we even got Stan the Demo Man in-house here, folks, demoing Emerald Lab products. And you guys can get literature and samples from Stan. So let's start with multivitamins. Why is this a good starting point for the summer, Stacy?
Well, I mean, obviously with your patients, I would say that you'd probably recommend, if you're not going to do anything else, let's just do one quality multivitamin. So that's what I would say to the consumer as well, or the listener, is if you're not going to do anything else, let's just start with a one-a-day multivitamin. Yeah. See how you feel and go from there. And then if we need to branch out with additional B vitamins, additional vitamin C, additional antioxidants, and go from there. And especially with how you're feeling, your wellness, your well-being.
Absolutely. It's talk about a foundational start to supplements, right? You just add that with your meals, maybe one a day, or with each meal, 2 to 3 times a day, right?
Right. Well, I would love for people to do like a clinical based multi, which is like a 4-a-day, and just kind of supplement throughout the day. But we have an inclination with consumers that they do not want to do 4 days, so they want a one and done. If we explain to listeners that a one and done, if it had all the inclusive RDA, the recommended daily allowances, right? It would be like an everlasting gobstopper, or it would be like the size of a horse capsule. It would be huge. So we can only get, as Emerald Labs, we are a manufacturer, we're FDA, audited manufacturer. So we can only get so much into one capsule without it really being something that's not very tolerable to the average consumer to swallow. And that's the thing. And I know people are listening at the store. And so the bottom line is, I know things need to be palatable. I know that they need to be easy to swallow. And so Emerald Labs are really trying to look at that, and having a one a day, we're really looking at having it to be as inclusive as possible, with high quality, superior ingredients, active ingredients, bioavailable ingredients, but also being easy to swallow.
Right. You said there's the clinical, like the high potency multi, like for example, for the 45+ men's, the one that says clinic, you want to look for that clinical label right on the bottle?
Yes. And obviously it's going to be a different price point, but it's going to be 4 a day. But I think that listeners need to understand that you eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so you could stretch those out with breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So if it's 4 a day, you could do 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, and then 2 in the evening, especially when you've had the most food in you, for easy, to be able to assimilate that.
Right.
Right?
Perfect.
Don't you agree?
Absolutely. And you're guaranteeing that you're covering these bases. All of us are guilty of skipping meals sometimes, but at least at the end of the day, you can say you got all this lineup of nutrients. So tell us about how they're all iron-free except for the prenatal multivitamin through Emerald Labs, correct?
Correct.
Why is that? What's going on there?
Well, Dr. Stengler is our formulator. Dr. Mark Stengler is a naturopathic medical doctor.
Who's going to be on, by the way, in about a couple weeks here.
Okay, I thought it was our on. Oh, how terrific. That's wonderful. So Dr. Stengler is our formulator for Emerald Labs. And in that form, he really kind of directs what what we stand by as far as educating the public with this. And so really the standpoint on this with being iron free is even if women are mincing, he still believes that you need to have some kind of clinical testing or that you're getting enough of the iron through your food. Do you agree that with that
Right.
as a naturopath yourself, Dale?
Absolutely. And a lot of people have too much iron that builds up, right? So, and
And
then
how would
with,
they know
yeah,
that?
yeah. And then with a multi, you can get easily too much iron. So it makes sense that a lot of multis don't have it in there, right? The prenatal, you need it though, right? You need extra iron in that case. So it's just different. It just makes
Well,
sense.
so would you agree, like, okay, if people get tested, right, and then the mother it's got 25 in the prenatal, right, or especially with people like later on in life have anemia problems, they need
Yeah.
to know that they have these issues, multiple bruising and all of that.
Yes.
But as far as it goes with a multi and a prenatal, do you agree that it's okay to not have iron in a, a woman's formula, like, and then they just need to know and understand getting it through their food
Yeah,
instead of being
exactly. If
overbalanced
that
with that,
conversation happens, yeah, if that conversation happens that it's not
right?
in there and they need to have a specific list of foods they're targeting, like dates and blackstrap molasses and a little bit of beef, lean beef here and there, just these doses in addition to their multi. So, but as long as they're aware, yeah. Otherwise, then it's not good if they don't know that, right? Especially with
Yeah.
the monthly menstrual cycle, you're bleeding, so there you're losing a lot of iron actually. But I would even argue you need vitamin C also more during that time too to help hold iron. Vitamin C helps absorb iron too. So yeah, we got to just have that conversation, right, Stacy?
Yeah, Dion, you're such a wealth of information. I love it.
There you go. Not
I
like you though. Trying to get on
think
your level here.
no, I think that's very important because a lot of people just right away when they see the Emerald Labs multis, and these Emerald Labs multis are that we're discussing are very superior as far as ingredients. We can get into the liposomal C, the activated Bs, we can get into glutathione. But when we're talking here at this level, being iron free, it's really important, I believe, and a doctor's standpoint, as what you're saying, is for people to understand your listeners, is that you don't want to automatically have iron incorporated in your supplements because that can be cumulative as well, right? And you could
Yes.
have an overdose of that. And if you don't need iron, especially, I mean, I know you're mincing, you want to say you need iron, but if you could get tested or if you know you have a
Exactly.
really healthy diet with the spin, like just the intake of healthy foods that would accumulate the iron naturally in you
Yeah,
would be,
definitely get your blood iron levels checked if you haven't ever done that, right? That's a good
yeah.
starting point to see where you even stand on that,
And don't
right?
think it's important, right? Do not think that it's always important that iron has to be in your multivitamin
Yes.
because most likely you're getting it through your foods. Do you agree with that?
100%. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. You get a lot
Yeah.
of pushback with that. Just want people to understand, and with your, your validation is that
And you
most like,
mentioned and you mentioned it builds up in tissues as well. Iron has a tendency to get stored in body tissues faster than other nutrients, so you can get a lot of issues with that. So perfect. Thanks for highlighting that, Stacy. I want to touch on like a standalone B vitamins. Why would
yeah.
somebody need that extra on top of a multi or instead of a multi? How have you seen that over the years?
So as far as the B complex, a B complex is essential for everybody, right?
Yeah.
They're essential B vitamins. There's 8 of them. Some people would argue that there's 11, but there's 8. Um, differentiate. What would you say? Was there 8 or 11? Like,
I don't, yeah, you're in
oh,
there. 10, let's say. You're in the right ballpark.
yeah, we have 8 essential B vitamins in our Emerald Labs B complex, and this is also what is in all of our multis. But we also have 3 of the non-essentials: the choline, the biotin, and the inositol. And I hope that listeners are starting to become more aware too, is that choline is getting much higher on the radar as far as
Yeah.
being an essential vitamin. But the B vitamins are what are in all of our multis. All the essential B vitamins are in the Emerald Labs multis, as well as PureWay-C, which is the vitamin C that we're using, which is a liposomal C. which is another standalone. And this is a water and fat soluble vitamin C. It's a 12-hour retention. It's a project verified non-GMO ascorbic acid, so
Mm,
clean corn, as well as being bound to citrus bioflavonoids, so water soluble, and vegetable fatty acids, so fat soluble. So this little guy that's included in the Emerald Labs multis as a superior ingredient, which makes that formula more superior, but it's also a standalone, and we have it, and Emerald Labs has it in a 90 capsules, so it's a 45-day supply at 2 capsules a day, which are super tiny capsules that are really important to consumers, as I understand,
right.
at guaranteed at 500 absorption. And then we've also added a reduced alpha lipoic acid to it, which kind of acts like when an antioxidant starts to die off because it's been free radically scavenging all day, it
Right.
starts to like oxidize on itself or die off. The alpha lipoic acid and the reduced it tends to pump a little bit more life into it. And so it encourages a little bit more lifespan to that.
And I pulled up one option here for the YouTube viewers. If you're on audio, just go to store.emeraldlabs.com. Store.emeraldlabs.com. I pulled up Be Healthy. This is one of the fan favorites here at Healthy Habits, Stacy. Customers, this is their go-to when it comes to B vitamins. So this is obviously going to have more than what's in just a typical multi, correct? It's going to be a step up, maybe more specific if your doctor wants to target mental health even more, an extra
Right.
deeper stress response and metabolic help, right? What else do you want to comment on this form? The coenzymated Be Healthy.
So comment would be for sure for people that are coming in looking for activated coenzymated B vitamins on
Yeah,
the front of the label. It's definitely going to show you right on the front of the label, the page down, babe. And right on the front of the label, it's going to give you the banner of L5 methyl tetrahydrofolate is going to be your active methylfolate, the B9, right away. And so folic acid has got to be converted into methyl tetrahydrofolate for your body to use it, no matter what. Then it's showing you on the next 2 bullet points methylated folate, which is the B12, methylated B12. So
yeah,
methylcobalamin, the active and superior form of the B12 instead of cyanocobalamin, which has to be broken down. And then the coenzymated forms of the B2 and the B6, which are going to be illustrated on the supplement facts box of the R5P and P5P. So the active forms of the riboflavin 5-phosphate, the peroxidase 5-phosphate. So what is showing you right here on the front of the label, folks, is that these are the 4 active forms of the Bs that are really in charge of adrenal support, um, mental clarity as far as the whoops, sorry, the sorry, the
hmm
adrenal support, and
right.
then yeah, you got it. So
Absolutely. So the Be Healthy folks, doctor formulated by who? By Dr. Mark Stangler, who's going to be on the
yeah,
program as well. So what's a good starting point for this? 1 or 2 a day? What's typical suggested capsules? Here's Dr. Mark here, Dr. Stangler
it
right
would
there.
be 2 a day, but
Okay.
also if somebody's really got an issue, I think that if you with your patients, have you ever said you can take up to 6 a day because they're so water soluble and depending
Right.
on their liver and what their the triggers and what the kind of aspects of their lifestyle would be about to keep the B vitamins in their system. Because we're
Right.
looking at, I was trying to say earlier, like mood regulators, the neurotransmitter production, adrenal gland support, nerve sheath protection.
Right.
Um, there's a lot of things that the B vitamins do. I mean, homocysteine,
Oh
regulation.
yeah. Yeah.
It's just so important that people need to understand that when you hear something for your listeners out there, when you hear something that says it's essential, like amino acids are essential,
Right.
B vitamins are essential, right? Zinc is an essential trace mineral. Like, what would you say right away for your takeaway, Deon? What would you say 5 things for people like they don't understand that are essential that your body doesn't produce?
You mean regarding B vitamins?
Oh, overall, what would you
Yeah.
just? like them listening, like what would you say? Like,
Well, the importance of supplementing, right? Like vitamin C, the body doesn't produce. We're one of the only mammals, one of the only animals in the world that doesn't make vitamin C. B vitamins, we lose it with age,
two,
right? So you need that for, we're in the summer now. People want to start burning that body fat,
right.
improving their thyroid energy. Bam, B vitamins, you need that. That's number three. People that are, they want to start getting into fitness and hiking more here for the summer. B vitamins, you need that for proper muscle health and energy levels. And then, of course, the mood
And
uh,
electrolytes,
and electrolytes too. Yep.
just, yeah.
And then for mood regulation, you need the B vitamins for anti anxiety, anti depression benefits as well. So a lot of people are dealing with that and they're being put on antidepressants, anti anxiety medications, but they're not even considering B vitamins. You know, we include that in a lot of our IVs, Stacy. A lot of our nutrient IVs, we do B vitamins. We've done B12 shots here at the clinic. So for 7+ years now of being in clinical settings, Dr. Aaron and I. So a lot of things you can say about the B vitamins. So PureWay-C you mentioned earlier. I don't want to let this conversation be done unless we highlight PureWay-C. Tell us about PureWay-C, which is, it's found in the multis as well, correct? But then there's a
Correct.
standalone PureWay-C.
Correct. At a 45-day supply, 90 count, tiny little capsules. Each one's the two capsules are equal to 500, but it's a water and fat soluble vitamin C. So what people need to understand if they're trying to be, if they're concerned about ascorbic acid, is it's a project verified non-GMO ascorbic acid. So we're talking clean corn, talking before it goes in the lab, so it's clean. This is a patented, registered, trademark ingredient. It's a raw ingredient that we purchase. And so I think the bottom line is the takeaway is that we've added the reduced alpha lipoic acid to it to pump a little bit more life into it. Water and fat soluble, 12-hour retention versus 4-hour retention. And I
Beautiful.
think just overall with like summertime benefits, like what we're just looking at really quickly is a multivitamin is super important. Even Dr. Amen uh, seriously talks about, if anything, just please take a good quality multivitamin. And I think we've highlighted the good qualities in this multivitamin by Emerald Labs with 45 plus having glutathione, with the PureWay-C, with the activated B complex in there, as far as albumin, chelate, and minerals. I think this is really important for people to understand that all multivitamins are created equal. And so a one a day, if you're just going to do a one a day instead of a clinical, it needs to be a really therapeutic one a day. That also includes tocotrienols and antioxidants, a good quality uh, mineral like albumin, which is a biglycinate that's chelated to amino acids, that has the activated B vitamins in there, etc.
Right.
I don't want to be a dead horse, but I think a good quality multivitamin, if we have a takeaway today for Emerald Labs, it's a one a day. It's a $22, and some of the stores have a $3 mini a coupon.
Right.
And so it's an affordable product for a 30-day supply that's really going to make a difference in overall health and wellness.
Amazing, Stacy. Perfect. So vitamin C is not just for the immune system, right?
Well, right.
That's just the tip of the iceberg, folks. I'm going to do a screen share here from store.emeraldlabs.com. Here's vitamin C as PureWay-C. This is the enhanced liposomal absorption version of a vitamin C. So tell us, let's highlight that real quick compared to just a standard ascorbic acid you can get from Walmart. How is this
Okay.
different?
This is very different because what I explained earlier, this liposomal
Yeah,
is
highlight
water
that.
and fat soluble. And so it will clearly show the difference as far as absorption. It's 500 milligrams per 2 capsules. They're very tiny capsules. And we're using project verified non-GMO pine bark capsules that are quick dissolving. So all the capsules are quick dissolving. Adding the alpha lipoic acid pumps a little bit more life into this vitamin C. And so water and fat soluble. So this is bound to citrus bioflavonoids, water soluble, and vegetable fatty acids, fat soluble. And so therefore what you have, and it clearly says it to you or for the consumer on the panel, for those that are concerned about ascorbic acid in general. But this is a patented ingredient, and so consumers can look at, or listeners can look at right away, PureWay-C,
Yeah.
and look at their website.
Amazing.
And this is what we're using in all the multis. And then again, this is a standalone for people to take this every day. If you're only doing a multi, I would always encourage to go ahead and purchase a bottle of the PureWay-C and take a couple of those each day as well. We're
Right,
looking
because
at
the multi per serving is probably going to have only what, a couple hundred, maybe three.
oh, yes, it's going to be much smaller.
Right.
And that's what
Yeah.
people really need to understand. They think that they're getting everything in one a day, but they actually are not. And so when we look at the clinical studies, depending on what your day is like, you can go ahead and invest in a clinical potency product, right? So invest in that $46 product or whatever it is,
Right.
that clinical plus. But what did you do the night before? So did you go to a concert the night before and you're up on caffeine and nicotine the next day? Maybe need all four.
Yeah.
Or the next day, did you do a run and then you're eating your salad bar and getting a juice? Maybe you just
Yeah.
need one because a lot of these clinical potency product, they're fractional. So if you
Right.
look at 4 a day, so one beta carotene versus one per four, we're looking at close to 1,000. That's you know what I mean?
Right. No,
So
absolutely.
if I yeah, so if I look at yeah, I mean it's kind of fractionated. It just depends on what's your lifestyle and what do you need every day. And so the consumer needs to be adjusting their own lifestyle like that and how much supplementation do you need? Because at the bottom line or at the end of the day in my mind, supplementation is just that. More in winter, less in summer. Are you
Hmm.
having more activity? Are you more sedentary?
Yeah.
Are you eating more, chicken and dumplings? Or are you eating more, chicken and spinach?
Right.
Do you know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Try,
You got to
trying to
really
get,
see where you're at in your life, what season you're in. One thing I would say for sure though is that people don't take enough vitamin C.
oh, absolutely.
Usually it's just one capsule or two a day that make it half a gram, maybe a gram for the entire day, and we're not making it. So plus they're not eating tons of citrus fruits and pineapples and mangoes and because of the fear of sugar. So that gives a whole other deep discussion. We can go into that. So
Yeah, that could be another whole discussion. And not only that, they're not getting enough minerals, Dehan. They're not getting enough magnesium. They're not
yeah.
getting enough minerals
Oh
overall.
yeah,
So
vitamin C or
enough
magnesium. Magnesium's a top
magnesium,
top three
iodine,
deficiency.
boron, we could go on and on. Phosphorus is becoming an issue. Boron's becoming an issue. They're not taking enough silica because silica manages the calcium. Calcium's kind of the renegade mineral. So we have a whole issue that we can really dive into with minerals if you want to one day.
Absolutely. Maybe as a next time we talk, for sure, we can have a whole segment just on deficiencies. Well, there's another case for a multivitamin
Oh,
to
it's the
start.
slow depletion that people don't understand. And then non-organic foods. And of course, not everybody can afford that, but um, it's an issue overall in America.
Right. So I'm currently taking NAC. I've been taking a
Oh,
lot of NAC for the last 3 weeks, and that helps me to make more glutathione.
yeah.
Stacy, I know you know that, but let's hear about glutathione though. Why is it such a more and more people are hearing about it? We offer it in many
So,
different ways here.
in AC, are you taking the N-acetylcysteine?
I'll take about 1.2 grams a day or 1.8 grams.
Okay.
They're each
I'm at,
600.
all right.
Yeah.
I'm at 2,400.
Look at you.
So, yeah. So the studies come back very, very strong. And N-acetylcysteine, well, first of all, let listeners know that I am MTHFR genetic variant. So I have a huge issue with methylation
Mm,
and I'm a poor detoxifier. So glutathione, well, N-acetylcysteine right away is a precursor to help our body produce our own natural master antioxidant, which is glutathione. And N-acetylcysteine is really comprised of three different components of cysteine and glutamate and glycine, and those are natural components to build up that glutathione production. And what I think is so amazing is when you look at people that are living the longest, the those centurions, they have the highest concentrations of glutathione. So how are we going to build up our glutathione besides supplementation? You're going to do it with proteins, really good healthy proteins, right? Fish, beef, chicken, whatever. It can be cooked. Um, I don't think it can be raw so much, but anyway, the beneficial we cook. So those are amino acids. When we look at glycine, glutamate, and cysteine,
Right.
right away we're looking at amino acids. And those amino acids, like we talked earlier about B vitamins, they're essential. So essential amino acids, I think is there 13 of them? They are
Right.
essential. And so the body needs those to produce what? Muscle growth, muscle utilization, also glutathione and aging healthy. So the healthiest people and the oldest people have high levels of glutathione. And
Right.
so N-acetylcysteine will help with that. Magnesium was a good precursor for that, a support. Milk thistle would be good. Anything we can support with our liver would be really important. Um, so it's also in our men's and women's 45 plus multi. It is a small
Yeah.
amount as a 15 mgs, but it's a little bit of something because it does wane with age. But with this guy and the multi, it's something. But also we do sell it as a standalone, as you know.
As always, with Stacy Faulkner here, episode 142, action packed with gems. We have a lot of good notes here, and I'll leave some links below the video. People can head over to store.emeraldlabs.com. But come check us here at 6029 North 7th Street in Central Phoenix, Arizona, 6029 North 7th Street. We have everything we just discussed here with Stacy. And even if you wanted to just do that precursor to glutathione, we have that NAC vegan product here through Emerald Labs, the NAC vegan option. So, Stacy, I just want to thank you for your time.
Hey, Han, do I have like 10 seconds
Yeah,
about that? Okay.
tell me.
One other thing, N-acetylcysteine, if people want to look up abstracts on N-acetylcysteine and depression and
Okay.
N-acetylcysteine on addictive behavior.
Yeah.
Dr. Stangler, why we have it in a 2-month supply, folks, is that 600 is normal for or head to tail or head to toe, preventative maintenance for the N-acetylcysteine benefits. But the 1200, right when you wake up, it's been shown in the abstracts to help alleviate depressive symptoms. And at 2400, 12 and 12, different times of the day, morning and afternoon, 12 and 12 at 2400 are starting to show, or not, they've already been proven to show, to alleviate addictive
Oh,
behavior.
wow.
It's not just drugs, pharmaceutical, alcohol. We're talking about anything that's going with the dopamine fix that
100%.
people are looking at. So is it driving fast? Is it sugar? Is it overeating? Is it gambling? Not just drugs, pharmaceutical, alcohol. So I just want people to understand that N-acetylcysteine is like a wonderful thing to ask about when you go into healthy habits to anybody that's on staff, because or just Google it. It's amazing. And ours is vegan. It's a
Yes.
fermented corn product, and a lot of them are not. A lot of amino acids come from like um, synthesized duck feathers, so that's not
Oh,
acceptable
wow.
vegan. That a lot of people don't know that. So just think about the vegan N-acetylcysteine by Emerald Labs and come in and ask at Healthy Habits, because it is an amazing ingredient.
What a great place to end it there. And like both of us are on it. There you go, folks. Both of Stacy and I are currently taking NAC, so we can have a whole show just on NAC. Maybe
Yeah,
next time we'll just do that and glutathione.
yeah,
Stacy,
love that.
appreciate you. Thank you for
Okay,
coming on.
I know.